Hi, this is Tweek. This is episode number 3 of our North Star Fleece quilt project, and I'm ready to show you how it turned out. Join us. To complete my North Star project, all I need is a pair of scissors, some yarn, some fray check to hold the knots, and my crochet hook, size G. Let's go! This project started when we were on a trip and I saw the quilt art that is on the side of barns as we traveled through parts of North Carolina and the South, and I got the idea for this North Star pattern. That meant get fleece. In the first part of my North Star series, started cutting out fleece to 6 by 6 inch squares. I took those squares and cut them in half into triangles. Then I took the triangles and used my 1/16 inch Fiskars puncher and punched around the circumference of each diamond and put them together, which gave me more squares. The squares were put together in the pattern combination that I wanted to make. Then I took each square, buddied them up with the next square. That gave me these panels. This is what one of the panels looks like. In the second part of the series, I took the panels I had created with the triangles and the squares, and once I got that North Star panel done, I replicated it, and using the same stitch that I'd used throughout the whole project, I started stitching the panels together. Same process, triangles to squares to panels to the North Star. In this episode, I took the completed North Star panels and added 4 of them together. And I can show you what that looks like, but I have one more thing to do. I want to put an edge. I took each panel and edged it in colors that I liked, that I thought matched the North Star pattern. But I want to finish it off with one more color, and what I'm going to try to do is match this limey yellow green. And I came as close as I could with this here. It's pretty close. I think because it's on the edge of the blanket, it will look more like it matches. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my yarn and do one more round around the completed project, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So here we go. Okay, a little trick I had learned is you go in with your fingers on each side of the yarn skein and pull out. I learned that this is called yarn barf. It is. And so it's just an easy way to bring that out and bring it down to a level where I can actually use it without a bunch of knots showing up. So I'm taking the yarn and it's all set now, and it's in a pile over here, which I will take care of. So I've got my yarn and I've got my project here. This is a pretty good size quilt. Each of these squares were 6 by 6 inches, and there's 4 of them per panel, and then there's 4 panels per square. And it adds up to quite a lot of blanket. So I'm going to come where I left off. You see the little signal that that's where I left off, and I'm going to get my crochet hook, and to start, I'm going to ignore this knot. I'm going to come in just right in front of it there, and I'm going to pull some of this beautiful weirdy green yarn in. Let's find the end. Okay, come on, yarn. Okay, I find the end of this yarn. Okay, and I'm going to snip off the end. I don't like it when it's frayed like that. All right, so I'm going to take some of this yarn and I'm going to pull under. Just pull the yarn under. And I'm going to put the knot, simple knot, on the other side of that knot because I want double insurance that it's not going to pull. I will later add some fray check. Fray check binds the fibers in the yarn together to keep that knot tight. So there I go, and now I'm going to go around in a stitch. I used just a simple single crochet stitch all the way around till I got to here. This is a double crochet stitch, and I think that's how I wanted to finish this off. But right now I'm going to experiment and see if that is what I want to do. For a single crochet stitch, I have one loop on the hook. I'm going to go in underneath the chain. I'm following this chain around the edge of the project. I'm going to come under, bring up, and now I have two loops on the hook. I'm just going to pull the yarn through. So what I'm trying to determine now is, do I want a simple one stitch or a two stitch? Do I want a thicker line of color here or a thinner line? And that's what I need to do to discover if that's how I want to finish it. You make these decisions as you go. It's a little more green, I see, than I do the yellow in it. So I think I'm going to leave it as a simple stitch and not let this blue here shine. The blue matches really well. So I'm just going to continue with the single crochet stitch, and I'm going to go all the way around the blanket. It might take a little bit of time. In fact, I'll time it and let you know how long it did take. And away I go. Few inches left to go. I've gone around the whole thing. It's taken about an hour and a half, just shy of an hour and a half. But I wanted to share with you too something here. When you're coming around, I'm coming underneath each chain, like I told you. So I'm coming under the chain. You can get a little bit different look if you go through the spot between underneath the chain and come up. And I'm going to just do a few of the stitches to show you how different it looks. Just that little bit of a change in where you place the stitch. Because I'm coming right underneath the chain, but if you go between each stitch, can you see how it's a little bit longer? Now, I like the shorter version, but just something as simple as that, you can change the look of your blanket. And because I have tighter stitches, my blanket will be a little on the shorter side here. And as you can see, I've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is my 10th row that I've added to this. This is all up to you once you make your North Star. How you want to finish it, that is all up to you and the patterns and colors you use. So I'm going to come back to, I'm coming right underneath the chain itself. I'm not going between the stitches, but right underneath the chain. So my little stitches on the top are going to be just a little shorter. Got a few more here to go. I'm using this color because I think it tricks the eye a little bit. When you get away from that yellow, you almost see it with the other colors. So that's the way I'm going with it here. Okay, a few more stitches and then we'll get to see what it looks like. I'm back to where I started, so I'm going to go into that first stitch where I started. Come up and under. I'm thinking I don't want to see any blue there, so I'm going to go into the next stitch. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Pull this up a little bit so I got something to work with. And did I bury my scissors? Nope, they're right here. Cut. Hang on for that for a second. Let's see. Now I'm going to put fray check there, but I'm going to come back a little bit, back under the stitch to hide this little bit of green tail here. So I'm just going to skim backwards just a few stitches. I got 3 there. Let's see how it looks, maybe 4. Okay, and that, once I snip it, there we go. And then I put just a little bit of fray check on the knot. Now you don't want to use a lot of fray check. Oh, that seems like I didn't snip that properly. But anyways, a little bit of fray check, just to hold the stitch in place, the knot. If you put too much, you'll end up with a hard spot there, and I'd rather it be more soft. And because it's going to bug me if I don't, get that little bit of extra off there. And be careful you don't stitch into your stitches. Okay, I think this one is done. Let's see how it looks. Oh my goodness, gonna have to take it to another spot because there's just not enough of me to show you how much of it is here. I wanted to make more panels, but it just got so big. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. That is my North Star quilt project with fleece and yarn. It's beautiful. And there you have it. So if you like what you've seen here today, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and remember to ring the bell so you know when another episode of Tweaks with Tweek is coming along. Until then, grab up your scraps. This was a long-running project, but it's really worth it in the end because it's soft and it's beautiful. See you again.